Thank you so much, Brother Victor, and greetings to you, esteemed colleagues. My name is Graham Singh, and I'm the founder of the Trinity Centres Foundation. I'm also a pastor in the Anglican Church of Canada, and it's my joy to join you in this way. I'm sorry not to be with you in person for this very, very important subject on faith communities and social innovation. As Victor has mentioned, my role has been in the innovation side of the church, for whatever that might mean. We'll come to that in a moment. For some time now, nearly 20 years in the Church of England, the Anglican Church of Canada, founding the Trinity Centres Foundation, also leading an organization called Church Planting Canada. And what I can say is, I truly believe that not only the Christian church, but I would extend this to our Muslim and Jewish sisters and brothers particularly, and we can go further into other world faiths, but if we focus on the Abrahamic faiths for just a moment, I truly believe we're going through a once in 500 year operating system revolution. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you track the story of the Abrahamic faiths over just the last 2,000 years, of course, the Jewish faith is much older than that, we can see huge changes in the way in which power, wealth, inequality have played their role, for better or for worse, in many cases for worse, but in many other cases for better, for so much good, but over those 2,000 years. Over the past 500 years, we've seen this thing called colonization in a new and particular way. The process of decolonization necessitates innovation within faith communities because of their deep role in the colonizing process. My own family left India in the 1850s to go to British Guyana, and their journey from their Hindu faith into a kind of British school system, generalized colonial British Caribbean faith, which many of you may understand some of that. It represents some of the beautiful parts of the story of our family, as well as some of the very difficult ones. So the once in 500 year revolution is something really that began at the Second World War and comes to a point where many people are very interested in exploring their faith, but they have absolutely no time left for controlling religions. The idea that if we own a certain amount of wealth as a faith community or buildings, that people will eventually believe the way we believe. In fact, this is an affront to many of the movements of diversity, equity, and inclusion that we're all very honored to play our parts in. So, number one, there is a big change going on. And I don't want to put people into two groups, but let's just do it for just a moment and say there's those who know that that's happening, and that's their reality. Every day they wake up and they say, grandmother, everything has changed. And then there are others, they may be grandmother age. Some of them are quite a lot younger, who are hoping for a kind of renaissance of the old ways of faith communities. I can tell you very frankly, I don't believe we will ever see the old days again, and I'm glad. But the idea of to what extent do you agree with that concept of a major once in 500 year operating system revolution? That is the beginning of a lot of the tension around social innovation and faith communities. Number two, I'm going to hit this head on. I think as people of faith, we think of ourselves as more creative because we're kind of more on God's side. I'm not sure I've seen that borne out. I think, in fact, some of the most creative and the most innovative, the quality innovations that have been happening come from those who might call themselves de-churched in the case of a Christian faith. They might have been part of a faith community, but for various reasons, they've had to step away. Some of them have the most incredible creative vision and faith. And if faith communities could realize, actually, I'm not sure in this last season, let's say this last 50 years, that we have been at the front end of creativity and social innovation in the way that in many cases, the building of schools and hospitals across all faiths is an incredible gift to society. It comes with costs and it comes with many mistakes as well. But there have been times where we've been really on the front. I'm not sure we have been as much on the front lately as people of faith. And the third thought I wanted to throw into the conversation here is the idea of trying to finance the social outcomes associated with faith communities. This is something that I believe we can agree upon, even if we don't agree on the future role or present role of faith communities themselves. What do I mean by that? I think we would all agree that loneliness and isolation is one of the greatest troubles in our society today. When people go from being strangers to being friends through a faith community, through a chess club, through an Alcoholics Anonymous group, they are breaking down those issues of loneliness. And faith communities have a lot of good. They have done a huge amount to see that happen. You may immediately have gone to the idea of social determinants of health. Loneliness, isolation is one of them, but there are many, many others where faith communities have positive impacts on other social determinants of health. These are financeable. When we get to social innovation, we immediately want to go to social finance. How might we finance these outcomes in different ways? Well, these are very compatible outcomes, as I said, even if you have a different view on the future role of faith communities.